Hi, I'm Jessica,
And I'm Tracy.
and this is She's on Top, the place where we celebrate and elevate women.
And this is our series called The New Normal.
And today we're excited to have on Koryn Greenspan, who you can guess from my little guest in my lap, runs a dog walking company called Urban Dog Walks. Hi, Koryn.
Hi, Kareem.
Hi, how are you guys?
We are excited. This is thrilling for me because, you know, I have a dog, so I have like tons of questions. This is Franny. I'm going to put her down because she's already annoyed. So I'll just put her down.
So cute. It's nice to meet you, Franny, as well. It's nice to meet you.
You can start, Trace.
Okay, so Kareem, why don't you tell us a little bit about your business and what you do?
Absolutely. So I own Urban Dog Walks in Toronto. I started the company 8 years ago when I got my rescue girl, Georgia. I left PR and I started the company, and here we are 8 years later. We do group walks, solo walks, puppy visits, puppy training, and boarding at the company.
Great.
So how has this affected you? Like, I'm really curious because I've heard so many myths, so many different ideas about, you know, dog behavior, grooming dogs, all this kind of stuff. So why don't we just start with talking about how this has affected you?
Well, you know, the company has suspended our services since March 17th. So all the services I just mentioned have officially been suspended. However, what we're doing now is we're offering zero contact, strict physical distancing solo walks. We're doing pre-puppy visits on Zoom meetings because there's so many puppies right now and people really do need positive direction for them and what to do. And we're also offering pet food and supply pickup and delivery.
And can you tell us, like, what are some of the questions that your clients have been asking you? What are some of the concerns that they have?
You know, my dog's well-being, right? Like, how do I keep my dog happy during this time? We have lots of grooming questions. You know, how do we handle nails, right? Like, what's the best way to actually wash my dog? Do you have any tips or pointers? So I've been really fielding a lot of those kind of questions.
I'd love to zone in on the dog. I think people haven't thought about this. We're always concerned with our own stress and our own anxiety, but there is such thing as pet anxiety, right? And I mean, it's interesting because a friend of mine my friend Simon put up a post the other day, and he had like a big poor love bandit on his head because he said he's got a 100-pound dog who'd gotten so attached to him that he'd like jumped on him and knocked him over. And I've even noticed with Franny, I'm home all the time, but she's still like, if I go upstairs, she goes upstairs. If I go downstairs. So what's something that we should be on alert for that? Or how should we be dealing with it?
I think it's really important during this time to keep our dogs in a routine, right? And if they can understand when they're going out, and they can understand when their feeding times are going to be, and they can understand when their play times are going to be, it will allow them to focus on their day in a much happier way. You also want to be sure to take some time away from your dog every day, whether it be if you leave the house and to run an essential errand, or you go upstairs and you kind of leave them downstairs, or even if they're beside you, what you can do too is just not really ignore them, but just leave them in their own peace beside you without having to communicate. These are really positive things you can do for them right now.
Yeah, that's very interesting. I was actually looking into getting a rescue dog. And one of the concerns they said is everyone wants to rescue a dog right now, we're all home, but then when we all go back to work or we start getting back into our lives again, what's going to happen to these dogs that are so used to being with you? So I think that's really important what you're talking about, to give them that separation.
They really need it, you know, and when you bring a new puppy home or you bring home a rescue dog, your crate is your best friend because you want to instill that independence in them as well. You know, a happy dog is an independent dog who knows that all of their needs are being met so they can actually have some independent time and space to be happy.
And the next question I had too was, so you know how to be with your dog. What's the pet etiquette now when you're out? Because it's like somebody else's dog runs up to yours, or somebody pets your dog, or you want to pet somebody else's. You know, as far as I know, that, you know, they don't seem to feel like you can get it, COVID or anything, from pet dogs, but how do you behave?
That's such a great question because you want to mitigate fear, really. I think it's just what we're doing with all of this right now, and fear with uncertainty. So you see another dog, you see another person, so there's uncertainty and fear. So in my opinion, the best thing to do is, first of all, communicate. First of all, have your animal sit, okay? Make sure that the other animal is far enough that they can sit, or they can lunge forward a bit, as long as you're managing your animal. That's the first thing you want to do. You then want to communicate with the owner. and you wanna see, you know, where are we here, right? Like, are you comfortable with the sniff? Are you not? You want to respect that. There's Georgia saying hello to the outside. Sorry. Georgia, it's okay. It's okay. She's like ready to go out. So you want to have a communication with the person across from you. And if you both feel safe about it and you're both feeling like your dogs are calm and manageable and you give it a green light, you can let a sniff happen, right? And you can do that. But if you're getting a bad feeling, or you're feeling uncomfortable, or you're feeling like something's off you, just don't let it happen. You know, if somebody asks, can my dog say hello to your dog? Just say, no, you know, we'll wait for next time. Thanks so much. And just move on. So you just want to mitigate fear, I think, and you want to communicate, because as far as we know, we can't transmit COVID from fur, but there are surfaces, there's collars, there's recent touching. So you have to just be kind and communicate.
That makes sense. And, you know, another question going back to that is like, how do you socialize dogs? Because a lot of the dog parks have been closed. So when you've got a young dog or a puppy at home, how do you socialize them now if they can't go out and play with other dogs?
Well, that's a really great, also another really great question. So puppies, there's kind of a luck on the side right now for socialization, because until they have their third set of shots, they shouldn't really be out and about anyways. You really want to make sure just to keep them in your front yard and your backyard, especially now the outside's really kind of dirty. There's a lot of stuff out there. So when you bring a puppy home, you socialize them by touching them, grooming them, doing their basic commands. So that's the first thing you want to do. And then when you're outside again, you want to utilize your inner network. You know, people who are quarantined, there are social distancing. They're your family, they're your friends, their community. You want to coordinate those social distancing, you know, physical distancing walks. And you let your puppy assimilate with the world around them in that way. And you still take them with you in cars, take them with you for drive-bys, things like this as well. Anything that'll help get them associated to the world around them as best as you can right now.
That makes sense.
And how is this, now I want to say you talked earlier about grooming tips and things. Do you have an online site, or do you have a place where people can learn that from you, or do you have a place that you can drive them? Like,
right, no, thanks for that. So I actually do a lot of how-to videos on our Instagram account. At Urban Dog Walks Instagram account. There's also some information on Facebook, but I do a lot of personal reaching out. So all of my contact information is everywhere on the internet under Urban Dog Walk. So anybody can just be in touch directly with me with any questions they may have. I do a lot of fielding of questions right now, so I'm always available.
That sounds great. Thank you so much. Is there anything that we can do as a community to help support you?
Thank you for that. You know, one thing is just don't forget about Urban Dog Walks. We're here. We are not closed down. We are going right back to business. We will be talking about new practices, you know, with COVID and managing this moving forward. You can mention us on any internet or media site. You can share this video and your lovely selves as well, because you guys are fantastic. And thank you for this opportunity. And just join us in the conversation. I'm here for you. We're here for you. And we just can't wait to get back at it. So just stay safe is all you can do, and stay happy and love your pets. That's all.
And we just had one final thing. I know I asked off the top, you know, how are you doing? You talked about, you know, the business and what you're doing, but how are you doing? You know, like we're all 5 or 6 weeks in, we're all women, we're all have our different businesses. Like, are you finding it's lifting a bit, or, you know, what's your experience?
Thank you for asking that personal question. It's very up and down, and it's very day by day. It's a lot of learnings on very positive, like high levels. And the hard days are hard, you know, and you have to be kind to yourselves, and you have to be kind to the people around you and your community. I'm okay though. I feel like there's more positive days than not positive days, and a lot of learning and thoughts for what's next for the company and for myself. So I feel very blessed for that, and thank you for the question.
Well, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Trace.
I'll say thank you. Thank you so much for talking with us, and we'll direct everyone to your site. And I love all the information that you have on dogs, and I think people should go check out your page, because you know, dogs are affected too, like Jessica said at the beginning. Animals, pets, they are affected by this, and we have to think about that at this time.
Especially because we're so grateful to you for the information, because for somebody like me, that's my baby. You know what I mean?
Right?
Like,
yes.
She's my companion. She's helping me get through this. I want to take care of her.
We want to take care of them. We want to love them the best we can. We just want to make sure that they're happy. You're so right, and that's so well said. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Koryn. We'll see you soon.
Thank you both as well. Take care.
Cheers.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for all
Bye.
your advice.
See you.
Bye.